All right, axe throwing lovers, stick around because I want to talk about this thrower right here. I just want to take a moment to say what's up to everybody. Thank you for taking time to click on this video. Now let's get started. As many of you know by now, I am a product tester for a company called JXE JXO. This company is a ton of fun. If you go out to Amazon and you type in JXE JXO, what you're going to find is a lot of bargain-friendly prices for really cool stuff and really cool looking stuff at that. In my time of dealing with them, I know that they are really fond of various forms of axe throwing sets, which I have reviewed several of those. The one I'm going to be looking at today is a solo. A lot of their axes, hatchets, whatever you want to call them, can be bought in a set. They're a little bit smaller. They're not quite as thick as the one I'm going to present. This one we're looking at today is a single. You can't buy this in a set. I want you to take a look at this. It's paracord wrapped handle and major thickness. This weighs exactly 1 pound and the sharpness of this is unreal. Let's do a paper test. There you go. Now let's do the double paper test. I'll give you a moment to take a look at the sheath here as well. Just pops right in. I tell you, you got to be careful taking these little hatchets out of these sheaths, but you know, you could mount it and it comes right out. Just be careful taking it out as always, but you know, basic sheath, but gets the job done. This is heavy enough to use. You can use this at the camp. Even if you don't throw, if you like the design of this and you like the weight, I think 1 pound is a good weight. You can use it like when you're chopping down, you can feel the weight of it. It would be stellar for light duty, small limbs. You could do a lot of things with it. Just to show you how well this can work for chopping and cutting, I'm gonna cut into this tree here. This is actually a tree that I have cut in half. I use it for training purposes to set stuff up on. So I'm just gonna take a couple of shots here just to show you it, you know, the sharpness of this blade and how it cuts in. You can see how well it hit that. I didn't even use a lot of force. Really sharp blade and heavy enough to chop with. There you go. Sharp and hard hitting. Let you get a look at the thickness one more time there, and you can see here there's some pry bar action here. Curious to see how this is going to do on the throw. You'd have to catch it just at the right angle. I think throwing underhanded is going to be the same way, but fun nevertheless. But you know, you could use this pry bar for a lot of things. This is a pretty cool looking little hatchet. Now, throwers, this paracord's probably not going to stay. You may want to rewrap this over time. If you're like me, you'll just take it off altogether and use it as a thrower that way. You know, those of you who are just using it around the camp, using it for utility purposes, the paracord handle feels nice. It gives you a nice grip. So if you're throwing this thing though, don't expect this to stay on. It's not going to happen. So speaking of throwing, I feel like doing just a little bit. I feel like I'm ice skating today. I'm trying to do this review without slipping and falling. Let's summarize. I'm really digging this axe. It's heavy enough to make a solid impact, but it's light enough to maintain comfortably. I love the edge. I've thrown it a ton. You didn't see all of that on the video just for the sake of time, but the blade's still holding up the very same, and it should be easy enough to maintain. For what you're doing, you don't have to have a perfect edge on this thing anyway. This is a very useful tool. It'll cost you about 30 bucks right now as it stands. I'll put a link in the description, but I do believe it's well worth it because you got a very solid dual purpose. This steel is very thick. I don't think you're gonna have to worry about breaking it, and there's a limited lifetime warranty on this product. You're just gonna have an all-around good time with this little hatchet. I hope you've enjoyed this review. I'll catch you in the next video.